Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Unit 6 discussion. We are already in week 6. Kind of hard to believe. You guys are almost done with this quarter. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Mostly we're going to discuss records keeping, the process of how to go about those things and why it's important, and maybe even pertaining to some of the specific items that require record keeping. For example, this picture right here is your biological indicator, and I have a video about that here at the end. So this week you have another kind of large assignment right here, 90 points for this professional development, putting out a nice resume and a thank you letter to whoever interviewed you. It can be hypothetical. You could address it to me if you would like. That part doesn't necessarily matter. What I'm really looking for is the content of the thank you letter, and how professional you would be with that in your resume. I'll give you tips on some of those things. If I see, maybe you could improve on this, maybe style or the way it's laid out, something along those lines. That way you have those ready for when you do graduate. Also, I want you to pay attention to next week's assignment because notice you've got a couple large points again, because we're rounding this out here. We only go to week 8, unit 8. So just prepare, okay? So you're not overwhelmed when you open the syllabus for next week. Just wanted you to get a heads up. That way you can start working on these things and your workbook, get those in maybe ahead of time so you have time to go through those and get the best grade possible on those items. Because in week 8, it's a shortened week. Everything is going to be due by Tuesday afternoon. That way I can get everything graded and your grades turned in. All right, so first let's start with the question, what is the importance of record keeping in sterile processing? Why is this something we even have to discuss? It seems kind of maybe basic, right? Record keeping. But really it's actually very important because when it comes to sterilization, there are a lot of steps that we've learned throughout the quarter of different times in which things can go wrong that would affect the sterilization of an item. So being able to trace those back, maybe it happened in decontamination. Maybe there was something wrong with the ultrasonic cleaner. Maybe there was something wrong with the sterilizer. Maybe there was something wrong with maybe it's a user error, right? Maybe someone needs to have a little bit more training on certain items or certain steps, right? So it's important to keep track of every single step that these items that are being sterilized go through, so you can look back and check them if there is a problem later, okay? So here's a good picture of one of these records that you might have to fill out. It may, be slightly different depending on the brand or the company, but it's going to be very similar. Just keep in mind, anytime you're filling out any record for anything in sterile processing, keep these 3 things in mind. You want it to be accurate, legible, and complete. Some people are really going to struggle, I think, with legible. Sometimes people's handwritings are a little difficult. So just work on that. Make sure it's something you can read. And fill it out completely. You're going to have to put your name and initials next to something that you do. That way it can be tracked to the person if need be. Okay, some other things you are going to have to keep record of. These are all things that are going to require some sort of record. It could be digital. Some facilities go digital now, as opposed to, the handwriting could be an issue. So it depends on your facility. Here's another picture of one that you might see, a daily sterilization record envelope. So you're going to keep track of water quality. You're going to have to do certain steps every day to check the water quality, make sure it's up to par with, your IFUs and stuff. Ultrasonic cleaners, remember every step of the way. Wash your decontaminators, the disinfection, what type of chemicals are you using? Are they adequate? Scopes, as they go through the scope reprocessing. Now we've talked about chemical indicators, and those, remember, you've done videos on this, so I'm not going to harp on that too much. But don't forget the external chemical indicators, the one you guys have been you practice in the video with the peel pack, was an internal chemical indicator. So don't forget about the externals. Those are going to go like on the outside of the casket. Sometimes they're tiny, they're little, but it could be also the tape. There's other things. Physical monitoring. So like if you're standing next to your steam sterilizer, you've got your display. You might also have to write down separately each load these items: time, temperature, pressure. You might even get like a receipt printout on some of these that go into a separate folder. And then your biologicals is one of the most important things. Remember, we've probably harped on this every week because it's the only way to truly know if something is sterile is the biological indicator. So it is one of the most important, which is why I have a video of that here at the end. When you are keeping record of the sterilization loads, you are going to have to keep track of the load, control, and lot number, which includes these items. So even if you only have one sterilizer, you would just put sterilizer number 1, just so it's in the record. But you're more than likely going to have more than one sterilizer, and they should be labeled appropriately. The cycle number, the date, and this may depend on your facility as well. A lot of facilities still go with the Julian date, which to me, I think is kind of crazy, because the Julian date is the number of the day of the year. So January 1st, the Julian date is 1. December 31st, the Julian date would be 365, 366, depending, right? So, other than those two, it's kind of hard to like think about, if I have a Julian date of 175, I'm not going to know that off the top of my head. So it's not, to me, as easy to recognize. You'd have to look that up as opposed to the regular format of the date, but your facility may still require that. So on the log sheet, again, you're going to record those lot control numbers, load control numbers, the cycle, all of these same things, specific item being sterilized. Maybe it's an immediate use steam sterilizer, and you just put one item in. You have to write what that item is. The exposure time that is appropriate for that item. Your signature, again, we sometimes have to trace it back to operator error. Response of the biological indicator once it's been appropriately incubated for its correct amount of time, and then the Bowie-Dick test, which is usually run every 24 hours. Okay, so a couple of things here with the FDA. So a lot of times I think we associate the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, with strictly the food side, but really they do a lot on the drug and medical side of things as well, because they're the ones that are responsible not just for ensuring safe food is being processed a safe way, but also that medical equipment are being safely built, processed, and maybe even reprocessed if available. So along with that, they're going to classify certain medical devices according to risk, which is going to indicate how it should be sterilized and processed. So class 3 is considered the highest risk, which would be like your implants or life-sustaining devices, like a pacemaker or even a total knee implant. Those are class 3. Labeling, they have this document called Labeling Reusable Medical Devices for Reprocessing. So always check to see if something can be reprocessed. Some things are capable, but not everything. So you don't want to accidentally send something for reprocessing that shouldn't be. It could damage the item. It could make it not safe for use. It could render it unsterile even through the process. So just check that. And you also, the opposite, you don't want to throw it away if it could be reprocessed. So that's wasting money. And we just talked about in your discussion post going green and making, medical waste a whole lot less. So always check those. The FDA can also issue recalls on devices. So anytime, especially with implants, there's an implant, there's a tracking number, a manufacturer number, a specific number to that implant that gets put on the patient's record. And then if there is a recall on a specific device, they're going to pull up, the numbers that are affected, pull the patient charts, and then send a notice to the patient. It'd be unfortunate, but it does happen. So all that's FDA. Now the CDC is another entity, stands for Centers for Disease Control. I think, now we're pretty familiar with the CDC over the last several years, but they are responsible for promoting health to the public by preventing and controlling diseases. They put out a lot of studies and articles related to surgery as in general, as like isolation techniques, infection control. How do we treat sharps injuries or needle stick injuries? That's kind of their focus pertaining to our jobs. They're not a regulatory agency. They don't create laws or regulations, but they do the studies, with scientists and medical doctors, put out guidelines based on that. So another one here, guideline for disinfection and sterilization in healthcare. So they, along with AAMI, put out a lot of the guidelines for why and how we sterilize certain items. So AAMI, like I mentioned, AMI, sometimes we pronounce it AMI, is the Advancement of Medical Instrumentation. So this is a membership group, but they do, I would say most facilities would use AAMI as a guideline, like more so, like that's kind of the front runner. It is the most widely used sources in central sterile processing. So they have a lot of most up-to-date, I would say, information pertaining to sterilization. So here's this video I was referring to. This is a good video on what biological monitors are, the importance of them, and how to read them, and also how to keep record of them. It shows specifically the record keeping process for biologicals, and a couple ways to do that. Now the computer, you'll see the computer screen that they show you on that part is a little dated, but they've updated that system, but it is still an option to do it online like that. So hopefully this will be helpful to you.
When it comes to sterilization monitoring, 3M A-Test biological indicators have been providing leaders like you with trusted results for over 40 years. The 3M Infection Prevention Solutions team understands how every minute matters in your mission to provide sterile and safe instruments for your patients. The longer it takes to confirm that cycle conditions were adequate to achieve sterilization, the greater the risk of delayed surgeries and instrument shortages. In an emergency, you may need to use implants before lethality has been confirmed with a negative BI result, which puts patient safety on the line. If only you could have the speed you need while delivering the safety patients deserve. Now you can. The 3M A-Test Super Rapid Readout Biological Indicator System empowers you with the information you need when you need it. Know sooner. Know for sure. 3M A-Test Biological Indicators, helping you do the right thing for patient safety. The 3M A-Test Super Rapid Readout Biological Indicator System is a super fast, reliable way to monitor steam sterilization processes in healthcare facilities. A-Test Super Rapid Biological Indicators, or BIs, dramatically decrease turnaround time by providing true biological results faster than ever before. 270 degree Fahrenheit vacuum-assisted BI incubation time is just 1 hour instead of 3. Faster turnarounds make it easier to comply with sterilization guidelines, which helps you provide the highest standard of care for every patient. The 3M A-Test Super Rapid Readout Biological Indicator System includes biological indicators and challenge packs. 1492V brown cap BIs and associated challenge packs monitor 270 degree and 275 degree Fahrenheit vacuum-assisted steam sterilization cycles. The system also includes the 3M A-Test Auto Reader 490, designed to incubate and automatically read the results of 3M A-Test Super Rapid Readout BIs. Other biological indicators are not compatible and cannot be used with this auto reader. Setting up and configuring your 3M A-Test Auto Reader 490 is simple. First, place it on a firm, level surface near an outlet, away from sunlight and incandescent light. The A-Test Auto Reader 490 comes with multiple power plugs for use in different countries. Select the plug appropriate for your country and insert it into an AC grounded outlet. If you plan to use the A-Test web app, connect the supplied Ethernet cable to an Ethernet jack. Once the unit is plugged in, allow it to warm up for 30 minutes. When proper incubation temperature is reached and the A-Test Auto Reader 490 is ready to use, the C1 caution code will disappear. When you press the information button once, the LCD display gives the A-Test Auto Reader 490 serial number, the version of the embedded software, and the current date and time. The bottom row shows the configuration for the BI incubation wells. Press the information button twice to display the IP address if the unit is connected to an Ethernet jack, and the date and time that the Auto Reader 490 was last powered up. To save counter space, auto readers can be stacked 2 units high. Before configuring the wells, make sure the Auto Reader 490 is empty. Press the info and alarm off buttons on the front of the unit simultaneously and hold for 3 seconds to enter the configuration mode. Next, use the up and down buttons to program the clock, buzzer, and incubation well configuration you want. The alarm off button acts as an enter key and moves the flashing cursor to the next changeable setting. Be sure to apply the color-coded sticker that matches the auto reader configuration that you need. Your A-Test Auto Reader 490 is now ready to use. Let's look at how to activate and incubate a super rapid BI in the Auto Reader 490. The first step is to remove the BI or challenge pack from the sterilizer. If using an A-Test Super Rapid Readout BI challenge pack, if desired, scan the 2D barcode on the label to record product catalog number and lot code. Open the challenge pack and allow the A-Test Super Rapid BI to cool for 10 minutes before activating. Check the process indicator on the cap of the BI. A color change from pink to light brown confirms that the BI has been exposed to the steam process. Be sure to label the BI with the sterilizer, load number, and date. Wearing safety glasses, place the A-Test Super Rapid BI in a matching color-coded A-Test Auto Reader 490 incubation well. Make sure the flat side of the vial faces the back of the auto reader. Press the cap of the A-Test Super Rapid BI down firmly to close the cap and crush the glass ampule. Immediately remove the BI and visually verify that the glass ampule has been crushed. Then, flick the vial to cause the purple growth media to flow to the growth chamber at the bottom of the vial. Return the activated BI to the incubation well and check the LCD panel to confirm that the vial is properly seated. The Auto Reader LCD panel will display a series of asterisks, then the remaining incubation minutes right below the incubating BI. Now, all you need to do is wait for the result. Never remove an incubating A-Test Super Rapid BI until you see a plus or minus sign on the LCD panel, which indicates the test is complete. The moment a positive result is detected, you'll see a plus sign on the LCD panel directly under the incubating BI. If the sound feature is enabled, you'll also hear an alarm, which you can silence by pushing the buzzer alarm off button. If the audible alarm is disabled and a positive result occurs, the LCD display will flash. To stop the flashing, press the alarm button. When a processed BI returns a positive result, it indicates a failure in the steam sterilization process. A negative result, which indicates a successful sterilization process, will only appear at the end of the full incubation period. At the end of the 1-hour incubation time for 1492 VBIs, if a negative result is detected, you will see a minus sign on the LCD panel directly under the BI. Each day that a processed 1492 VBI is incubated, activate and incubate an unprocessed 1492 VBI as a positive control. The positive control should be from the same lot code as the processed biological indicator. The positive control BI should provide a positive fluorescent result. After a BI test is complete, the next step is to record your results. You can use traditional record-keeping methods or the 3M A-Test Auto Reader 490 web app. The 1492 VBI is normally discarded after the fluorescent result has been recorded. But if you're conducting a special study, you have the option to further incubate 1492 VBIs for a visual pH color change result. In the case of the positive control BI, you will see a yellow color change of the growth media and/or nonwoven material within 48 hours. Any evidence of yellow color within the vial indicates a positive result. In the case of a processed 1492 VBI, a color change from purple to yellow of the growth media and/or nonwoven material indicates a sterilization process failure. A negative pH color change result, where the media and nonwoven material remains purple or blue, can be assessed after 48 hours of incubation. The 3M A-Test Auto Reader 490 offers additional functionality online. Once you connect to the A-Test web app, you can remotely view the current status of incubating BIs using a computer or smartphone. The web app also allows you to remotely view and configure A-Test Auto Reader 490 settings, view results for the last 100 BI tests, save records for your electronic files, and print records for your paper files. To connect to the A-Test web app, follow the step-by-step instructions in the A-Test Auto Reader 490 Operator's Manual. Once connected to the A-Test web app on your computer or smartphone, you'll see the status page, which provides a real-time view of the A-Test Auto Reader 490 configuration and LCD panel display. The current date and time and Auto Reader 490 serial number are also displayed on this page. From here, you can navigate to a history page showing the results of the last 100 BI incubations and results detail pages by clicking on the well number of an occupied well. The A-Test web app makes it easy to create records of BI test results. After inserting a BI in the A-Test Auto Reader 490, open the results detail page for that BI by clicking on the corresponding well number from the status page. Enter the specific information for that BI in the empty form fields. Once the BI result is available, print or file the results detail page to create an individual record for the incubated BI. The Auto Reader 490 stores results for the last 100 incubated BIs on embedded software. The web app history page provides a summary of these results. The A-Test Auto Reader 490 can be configured using the buttons directly on the unit. But you can also configure the unit remotely using the A-Test web app. Go to the configuration page to customize the incubation wells. Enable or disable the audible alarm and assign a nickname to your A-Test Auto Reader 490. To learn more about using the A-Test Auto Reader 490 web app, see your operating manual. The 3M A-Test Super Rapid Readout Biological Indicator System works fast, which can reduce the risk of emergency release of instruments and implants. This helps to keep you compliant with CDC, AORN, and AAMI guidelines. Greater speed can also quicken instrument turnaround, which translates to better start time accuracy and case duration rates. And with faster instrument turnaround, you may not need to purchase or maintain as many instrument sets. Surgeons getting what they need when they need it. That leads to improved surgeon satisfaction. As surgical delays decrease, patients may be more satisfied too. Should a recall ever occur, having a prompt BI result can help you take action faster. The A-Test Super Rapid Readout Biological Indicator System also offers peace of mind. You know the OR will have what they need faster than ever. And you know that every patient under your watch is more likely to receive the highest level of sterilization assurance possible. The A-Test Super Rapid Readout Biological Indicator System is another great innovation from the 3M Infection Prevention Solutions team, delivering you peace of mind by helping you do the right thing for patient safety. Need help using the A-Test Auto Reader 490 and A-Test web app?
Up on the mouse.
Refer to the A-Test Auto Reader 490 Operator's Manual for detailed instructions and troubleshooting tips.
Go ahead and stop it there. hopefully that was beneficial to you in two ways. For one, it exposes you to the biological indicator if you've never worked with one before. It also shows you the importance of record keeping and how they can do that now that, it's hooked up to the internet. So your facility may end up doing both. I think it's a good idea to have two forms of records, paper and computer, because computers can fail you, right? So that's it for this lesson. Just remember, keep in mind all the assignments that are due in the next week or so you don't fall behind, because once, the end of the quarter happens, my hands are kind of tied there. So reach out if you have any questions or concerns. And I'm happy to work with you on that. Just let me know. I do have office hours today until 3, or by appointment if that doesn't work for you. So just reach out. Have a good day. Bye.